Season's greetings, everybody. I'm Joshua Orro, the Mustang Prince, and welcome to Mustang Prince Orro Reports. Also, welcome to part 2 of my 2016 holiday marathon. Now, last time, we took a look at Simon Wells' Balto movie, but now it's time to look back at something really Christmassy. And trust me when I say that it's a film that my sister and I loved to watch during our childhood, even after the holiday had come to an end. But, does it still hold up, you may ask? Well, let's find out. Released on October 21st, 1997, the movie is Annabelle's Wish. Now let's get started. Annabelle is a young calf who has a special wish for Christmas. She'd like to be a reindeer and help Santa Claus drive his sleigh as he delivers his presents. Annabelle's friends tell her not to get her hopes up, but to everyone's surprise, Santa does indeed meet up with Annabelle, and the calf gets to help Santa make the holiday special for a young mute boy. So, what are my thoughts on this movie? Well, ever since my grandmother shown this to me when I was little, I really loved it, and I still love it to this very day. Heck, it's one of my favorite Christmas films ever. But, in order to explain more info, let's move on to Mustang notes. Now, there isn't really much to say about what happened behind the scenes, but I can say that this film was originally aired on Fox. But what really surprised me was that there were 13 writers involved with this film, and that this film was sponsored by American Airlines and Novus Services. Now, as for the animation, well, in my opinion, the animators did wonderful with this, mostly with the characters looking really adorable, but sometimes there are a few flubs in it, though. A few years ago, I also learned that this movie is based on an old Christmas farm legend. However, in the original version, it was God who gave the animals the ability to speak, as opposed to Santa Claus. There are also some parts that can tug at my heart, like when Charles sells his music box to an antique dealer in order to pay for the damages that Billy and Annabelle accidentally made to the holder's fence. And when Annabelle gives up her Christmas voice to make Billy talk again. You know, that is one of the many things Christmas is about. Giving up something of yours in order to make someone you love happy. I also like that this movie is about friendship. Now, like most Christmas films out there, this movie has a few songs in it. For example, Deck the Halls is sung while Charles Baker is driving the kids around town caroling. Then there's If You Believe, sung by Santa Claus while he drops off Billy's Christmas presents. Next is The World from Way Up Here, sung by Alison Krauss while Annabelle dreams about flying. This song, in my opinion, is really beautiful, and it's adorable seeing Annabelle soaring through the clouds. Then we get Friends Like Us, or Seasons, sung by Randy Travis and Beth Nielsen Chapman. In my opinion, this is a wonderful song, and it makes a nice montage of Billy, Emily, and Annabelle's relation through the year. The last song in this movie is called Tiny Dreamer, which is sung during the end credits. To me, it's a touching lullaby. Anyway, now that we're done with Mustang notes, let's move on to the characters and their voice actors. Our title character, Annabelle, is voiced by veteran voice actress Kat Susi. Best known as Fifi LaFume from Tiny Toon Adventures, Phil and Lil DeVille from Rugrats, Lola Bunny from Space Jam, and just recently, young Nick Wilde from Zootopia. Annabelle is a young calf who wishes to fly like Santa's reindeer. In my opinion, Annabelle is just so darn cute. And I just love Cat Susie's voice for her. Next we have Billy Baker, voiced by Hari Oziol. I hope I got that name right. Anyway, Billy is Charles' beloved grandson who suffers from muteness. Now, the reason why Billy is unable to speak throughout most of this movie is because a while prior, there was, a terrible fire in the barn which damaged his vocal cords and killed his parents. He now lives with his grandfather and became Annabelle's best friend. When Billy finds out about Annabelle's wish to fly, he gives her antlers made of sticks and ties them around her head. Billy's grandfather, Charles Baker, is voiced by Jerry Van Dyke. Charles dreams to help his grandson speak again. He firmly believes in Christmas as well as miracles. He even keeps a music box which serves as a reminder of his late daughter. Next we have Charles' dog, Ears, voiced by ventriloquist Jay Johnson. In my opinion, Ears sticks out the most out of all the other animals in the movie, and he acts as a leader most of the time. I find it pretty funny when Ears trips over his long floppy ears a few times throughout this film. He even uses them for certain hand gestures. Billy's best friend, Emily, is voiced by Aria Curzon, who's voiced Ducky in the Land Before Time sequels ever since the 5th movie, The Mysterious Island. What I like about Emily is that she's a wonderful girl to be friends with, and she always knows what Billy wants. She even stands up for him against anyone who picks on him. Next we come to the jolly old man himself, Santa Claus, voiced by K.E. Cooter. In this movie, not only does he give presents to children, but he also grants the animals their ability to talk for one day a year. And at the end of the film, he makes Annabelle's wish come true by turning her into a reindeer. Next we have Bucky and Buster Holder, voiced by Charlie Cronin and James Lafferty. These two bullies are Billy's schoolmates who constantly make fun of his inability to speak. Bucky and Buster's father, Gus Holder, is voiced by the late Jim Varney. Best known from the Ernest movies, Atlantis: The Lost Empire, and the first 2 Toy Story movies. Gus is Charles' grumpy neighbor who used to love Christmas just as much as everybody else, until he eventually grew up and unfortunately lost his wife. The sheriff makes him realize how cold he's been, and nearing the end of the film, he sets things right with the Baker family. Next we come to our main antagonist, Aunt Agnes, voiced by Cloris Leachman. Best known from Young Frankenstein, Ponyo, and Laputa Castle in the Sky. Agnes is Billy's wealthy and selfish aunt who seeks to gain custody over her nephew, despite the fact that she doesn't seem very interested in actually caring for him. In my opinion, sometimes she can be laughable when she steps in poop at one part of the movie, and later on when she flips out after the animals push her car into a frozen lake. And finally, the narrator, aka Adult Billy, is voiced by country singer Randy Travis himself. Need I say more? The rest of the cast includes Clancy Brown, Jennifer Darling, Rue McClanahan, Jerry Hauser, Steve McCall, and Brian Cummings. And now it's time to move on to my final words. Overall, Annabelle's Wish is a Christmas classic. The animation may not be perfect, and there are a few plot holes and rushed plot lines. It's still pretty decent and enjoyable to watch for the holiday season. The voice acting from Kat Susie to Randy Travis is spectacular, and the songs are absolutely wonderful. So with all that said, this movie is an underrated gem of a Christmas movie that deserves more attention. So I highly recommend you viewers to watch this movie, especially if you have kids. I give this film a rating of 86% out of 100. Well, that's it for today, everybody. Be sure to join me again next time for my third Christmas blog. Mustang Power.
Wish I might on my favorite star. Let me feel, let me see.